The Boundary Waters have been fully closed for a week now, but keeping visitors out is becoming increasingly difficult. Northern News Now's Kyrie Johnson heard from officials today about the challenges of enforcing that closure and from outfitters who know firsthand just how badly people want to get back in.
You'd think this quiet entry point would be a sign that everybody got out of the Boundary Waters, but officials aren't so sure. They say they've seen several vacant vehicles sitting in parking lots at entry points, and it's leaving them to believe that some visitors may remain inside the Boundary Waters despite the closure.
We have actually noticed that there are some cars in some entry point parking lots, and so we're actually working with law enforcement officers to identify who they are and where they are.
Officials tell me that's raising concern about compliance.
People are getting frustrated. People are starting to push those boundaries.
Outfitters say that frustration is spilling over. Permits are canceled, but the phones won't stop ringing.
Obviously, our outfitting department is not sending people out. There's nowhere to send them. And that's the case with outfitters all over town.
But they also say they understand the disappointment, both for businesses and for visitors, whose trips are a yearly tradition.
People look forward to their Boundary Waters trip. There is a disappointment factor.
Adding to the concern now are those cars left behind in closed entry lots. Outfitters worry the situation could pull attention from the bigger mission at hand.
I hope that that's not taking resources away from things that should be a big deal.
And while outfitters wait for a reopening, they say they're ready when it's safe.
We're prepared to get people out paddling as soon as there are places that they can go paddling. In the meantime, Ely's a fantastic place to be.
Local outfitters are meeting with the Forest Service tonight to discuss next steps for permit holders, as well as talk about when the Boundary Waters could reopen. Near Ely, Kyrie Johnson, Northern News Now.
Kyrie, thank you. Now, the Forest Service says violating a closure order can result in fines, permit revocation, and potential legal action, as it is considered a violation of federal regulations. Along with canceled permits, a burn ban is still in effect across all of northern Minnesota. We will update you as soon as either restriction changes.